All right. So real quick, how many of you guys have ever done curriculum that's been given to you by like a church or an organization that's kind of based upon like teaching a serious thing? Wes, you got it. Okay. Great. What? Real quick, I'd just like to hear some feedback. What did you find to be helpful in that, and what did you find to be just kind of pointless and insignificant?
I thought it was good to have a roadmap. I think, yeah, because a lot of times when people get together, like you said, a lot of like what Paul said, people like are interested in themselves. So a lot of times people can just start talking about things. You're like, hey, that's totally not over here. They start telling stories about camp and raccoon camp.
Right.
So no, but to have like a roadmap, and you guys, I think you said it the week before last, we talked about like actually keeping like a theme in mind when you guys, anytime you're directing a question, or even when somebody starts, they cite an example that's not necessarily related, but there's something in there that is with, like if it's about forgiveness, you go, yeah, and then you bring it back to that. So that was helpful.
Okay.
But sometimes the discussion questions were just terrible. That was like, normally we skip those. Like, how did you pray in a different way today?
Yeah.
I was like,
what is our church? No name dropping. Yeah.
Because I think in a small group, the two things I think are important: the roadmap, so you kind of know where you're going, where you have to go, what training you have to cover, and then a lasso. You know, think like cowboy, because you got to keep everybody corralled in. Because I mean, because you've got the roadmap, but it means different things to different people and their experiences, and maybe what they're going through at that point, and maybe it's a really hot button, and somebody just wants to go off or after that.
Okay.
So I was thinking about a lasso.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's good. All right, so keeping everyone in, having direction where to go. Saw a few of the hands over here. What are you guys thinking? Anything? All right.
I agree.
What we got?
Sometimes I've found that it could be difficult if somebody like is abbreviating or they're doing it so it makes sense to them. But then when you go to read it, you're like, wait, this isn't what it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
yeah, Lord.
Christian language. Stay away. Especially when people know that the blood of Jesus flow over you today.
Especially when it's all the curriculum.
Yeah.
And if you just regurgitates that whole thing, that's awesome.
I like a lot of Bible verses that we talk about, and then you ask in relation to that particular
Okay.
Bible verse. It was always really helpful.
References to the
Yeah, yes, and then say, let's read this Bible verse, and then talk about that as a group.
Okay. Good. Good. Well, that kind of pretty much all the positive things you guys highlighted. We try to kind of integrate most of those, but this is an ongoing process. So this is kind of like our experiment. We're piloting this. So as you get your groups and as you get your curriculum, and it's irrelevant or points are just not making sense, let us know, because we want to continually kind of change it and modify it just so it's really helpful for you guys. But on line with the roadmap and also, I want to kind of share with you guys, because I know you guys were talking about last week, what is that going to look like? Like, what's the structure going to look like? Let me. Oh, you want to right? Yeah, that's what. Thank you very much. Good. All right.
Lose my job?
That's Sorry. You want to come back up here? All right. You all right? Okay. So just write down the 4 different points that we go through. So for curriculum, whether it's the curriculum that's based upon the teaching, or it's going to be curriculum that you want to kind of come up with, and you feel like your group's in a place where they need conversation about finances or relationships or whatever, all of our groups are going to function within this type of a framework. And so what we want to do, and I think you guys may have all gotten this kind of 2-page paper and staple. You guys get that? Okay, so look at this real quick. I want to just kind of take you through, just explain as we go through this. If you got any questions, I want to kind of model this for you guys and actually take you through something for an actual group. That's going to take way too much time, so we're going to breeze through real quick. This will be based upon curriculum that's kind of working in tandem with the teaching. So this first 8 weeks, where John's going to do something like sex and relationships and all that stuff, we're going to come up with a curriculum that asks questions and kind of probes into those various topics. So basically the first part, like as your group comes together, you hang out at the house, you got some food there and all that stuff, most of you just kind of transition to like some type of an icebreaker. Like that's the belong part. It's like helping everyone to feel like they belong in the group. Like they've got a point of connection. So as they hear stupid stories or whatever, they're like, oh, I identify with that. Person pooping their pants. So it's great way to make things happen. And then, and everyone kind of gets that, right? That's clear, okay. So this is kind of the part I want to discuss a little bit further. The discussion point, really what we want to do is, tons of camps have thought on this. Here, write this. Can we erase here? Cut all this out. So what really happens in most Bible studies that I've been in, there, I got you. In most Bible studies I've been in, just discussion groups, is that groups will land on one of two ends. They'll either land in the Bible and they will stay there for an hour and they talk about the background information, the history, how do you parse this from, just crazy stuff like that. Well, maybe Bible college students do that. And then the other, it's all application. Like you're just talking about how does this apply, how do we make this happen in our group. And so what we want to do is, a guy by the name of Gordon D. Fee wrote a great book called Read the Bible for All It's Worth. Recommended. It's a phenomenal book on how you bridge those two worlds together. And so what we want to do is we want to go there in the biblical world, and then we want to transition over to here in our world today. And so with your questions, you might look at this little section right here. So I kind of have an outline. So let's just, this is kind of a hypothetical scenario, but let's pretend John is talking about singleness, which is definitely one of the topics he's going to address. And let's say it kind of nuances in the direction where he talks about how men or women, whenever they're single, in their insecurity, they will prematurely date people that don't really fit the standard that they should be dating with. So John's preaching this message, and what we'll do is we will take that theme and we'll kind of flesh it out a little bit more and highlighting a few different verses and kind of go through those verses to make that a little bit more relevant for people so they can talk about that issue on a bunch of different perspectives. So what it is, I took one verse, Song of Songs 1:6, and it says this: "Do not stare at me because I am dark, because I am darkened by the sun. My mother's sons were angry with me and made me take care of the vineyards. My own vineyard I have neglected." So what we want to do is when you start your discussion and you look at a verse, you'll start in there. You'll start in the biblical world, and you will kind of build upon that. And so what we did is we'll give you kind of a little teaching caveat where you can explain a little bit background information. And so we'll give you all this stuff, and this will be from us to you. You can have it. And basically what you can do is, and this will make you sound really smart to your group. Like your group will be like, man, this brilliant person is reading this group. And so it only took us 5 minutes to get this stuff. So if you want my IVP background commentary, it's simple, easy, it's good stuff. So what you'll do is you'll explain how dark skin in that time, the reason why she's feeling so miserable about the fact that her skin is dark is because in that time, unlike today, that was considered unattractive because the only people who had, for the most part, dark skin were people who worked under the sun. And the only people who worked under the sun were people who were poor. And so if you had more fair skin, then you're considered to be more wealthy, which meant that you're more beautiful, unlike today. Today, it's like if you've got darker skin, I mean, it works both ways, but for the most part, if you got dark skin, tan, whatever, then you're beautiful, whatever. That's why I'm not attractive. I red skin, white skin, sad.